allow the children. It's okay. It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. She off your mind.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, my ego don't come, my people make we shout, my ego don't come, my ego don't come, man of the masses, my ego don't come, this one not the off in mind. And in the touchlight every corner. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai. Them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you ladder. My ego don't come. My people make we shout. My ego don't come. My ego don't come, man of the masses. My ego don't come. Political, my ego don't come. This one not the off in mind. My ego don't come. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my ego, that man do they talk. He do they talk. Say my ego diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk, but thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you laugh, my ego don't come, my people make you shout,
Hello there. Morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun Live. They shifted your shege by 2 days. Tinubu was supposed to announce to you the new fuel price, but they shifted it to another 2-3 days. The rumor has it that the petroleum pump price in Nigeria may be going up to 900 or 1,200, and people are already panicking again. Then Osoba came on board to advise Kolu. YouTube. Thank you so much. Read the caption of the broadcast. Read the description of the broadcast as well. Share the broadcast. Invite your friends and invite your not so friendly friends. Tell them. So much. Motide. So good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. It is Mayegun live. For those of you who are watching it live, if you're watching a replay, ignore that part. But this is live anyway. So thank you so much for joining me as usual. Your offering is your liking the broadcast, okay? This will be after you have read the caption of the broadcast, the description as well, and then share the broadcast. That's so important as well. Do that if you can, if you haven't already. And thank you very much as you do. So you are welcome to the Temple of Truth as usual. And this, last night, the news sort of, there was a memo, okay? So in that memo, right, you know that subsidy is gone. You don't expect Tinubu to come back and tell you that they are paying money on subsidy. Abi, that's the deal. That is why everything has gone up in Nigeria, except your minimum wage. They said everything has grown wings except salary. Oh, but that is for those who are collecting salaries anyway. You remember 7 months ago, they said subsidy was gone. So which means the oil importers, those who are bringing fuel to Nigeria, they can sell at whatever price is profitable for them. Okay? Now, Tinubu is not paying any subsidy, should not have any problem with that. Okay? Initially, when they removed subsidy, remember when they said, oh, subsidy was gone, they went behind you to start subsidizing dollars for those they call their friends, oil marketers, so that, they would not blame the Naira dollar exchange rate that is not stable. They will not blame that for the increase in the petroleum price in Nigeria. Voodoo economy. They were also banking on Dangote refinery that will not start working until maybe 2025 or 2026. But they continue to put it in the media that Dangote refinery is receiving millions of crude oil. Okay, no one is asking why is it just receiving crude oil and there is no single production. But we know the story around that anyway. But they are kind of banking on that. At the same time, they are also banking on the Port Harcourt refinery that is far away from completion. But they continue to present these two, that they will be the helper to Nigerians. That's what they told you. They said the moment they removed subsidy, and Dangote refinery start production, Port Harcourt refinery start production, Nigeria will no longer need to import fuel. You remember that was what they told you, Abi? Now, the Dangote refinery, Port Harcourt refineries are yet to really start any work. They are already telling people, listen, oh, even if Dangote refinery starts working, even if Port Harcourt refinery starts working, let's be realistic. That will not change the price of petrol. It's not going to change the price of the diesel. It's just that they are going to stop importation. So why then are you making people feel like reprieve is coming? When you know that Nigeria economy exists and functioned on your, what do you call it? Your petroleum and your gas run economy. To power your, to power your machineries, to power your generators, to power your cars, to power your power and all that, right? So you depend a lot on that. So if importing the product makes it very expensive for Nigerians to afford, and the government said, we will pay the difference, okay? Do not charge the people. And the same government is telling the people that Dangote refinery, Port Harcourt refinery, the two of them, once they start working, what's going to happen? The price is not going to change. Even when you give Dangote the crude oil in Naira, nobody knows how much Dangote paid. We don't even know the deal. Everybody's just looking at the paper and waiting for Dangote refinery. So a memo came out last night. The reason why some of you were still buying petroleum per liter for maybe 615, in some places maybe 700, is because Tinubu's government is subsidizing dollars for their friends they call marketers. But can I also tell you something? Officially, the people responsible for importation of petroleum products, diesel and all that, into Nigeria is Nigeria's supposed NNPC, the one they privatized and changed to NNPLC. A lot of you probably have no idea how deep the corruption is and what this simply means. Nigeria is oil producing country, but Nigeria or Nigerian seems not to be the owner of the oil. The oil is owned by some cabals who give themselves some power by selling the National Petroleum Corporation to themselves, using the money they stole from government, and then they are still holding the title of those that can, who have the right to bring petroleum product or other products into Nigeria. Remember, from public to private, but still functioning as public institution. NNPC or PLC, that's what they call themselves. Now, you see the abracadabra within that petroleum sector there. Here is the point. Instead of saying we are paying 2 trillion, 3 trillion for subsidy, let's tell the people that we have removed it. But we promise you, the petrol price will not increase. How? What do you mean? Like, if I go to Sweden, or I go to Niger Republic or somewhere, I refine the crude oil and I bring it to Nigeria, and it's going to cost 1,300 naira per liter. So you, government, why would you tell me I cannot sell it? I have to sell below my cost, production cost or landing cost. It doesn't make any sense, but they make their people believe that, don't worry, we remove the subsidy, the price is going to, but they are changing that now, okay? Because according to them, they are marketers. Who are these marketers? Who gave them licenses? Who is paying them? They said their marketers have now come back to say, I say, this is not going to work anymore because we still need to bring another product to Nigeria now. We can no longer cope with that exchange rate. The exchange rate is still not working for us. Remember, as the rest of you are buying $1 for 1,300, 1,250, inside the central bank of Nigeria, some people are buying the dollars for 500 naira, 400 naira. This was what Emefiole did for 8 years that brought Nigeria to our knees finally. They are still doing it too. In case if you don't know, it is called dollar subsidy. In case if you don't know. And this dollar subsidy means they are supposed oil marketers can access the dollars at the exchange rates of maybe 600 naira. That is the subsidy. So Nigeria continue to bleed while they continue to pay themselves using different names, different titles, but the same job. So the moment the dollar runs out and they know they will need to bring, so what will they do? They will just ruffle the feather. What happened is, okay, we just have to, we have removed subsidy, Abi. There's nothing much we can do, but we can assure you that we are talking to them. Abashik, make I tell you what happened last night. Last night, the supposed marketers, the representatives of government, which is Tinubu, the Kiyari of NNPLC, they sold NNPC. Nigerians didn't even know. They sold so many of those government, infrastructures and all of that to themselves. Some of you don't even know. Land, oil block, anything sellable. They were selling them to themselves, using the stolen money, your money, to also buy the government properties. They are renaming them, doing all. Maybe they are the government. If governments, if you start a business, and government says your business is illegal, here say it's going to be illegal. Now then be government. So if they say something is legal, it is legal. If they say it's illegal, it's illegal. For example, terrorism is legal in Nigeria. Activism is not legal. If you go and do one activist anyhow, you go end up in their gallows or dead. But if you are a terrorist, they don't really kill you just to keep scores. You are likely going to be very wealthy, like you have in Nigeria today. Okay. So they had a meeting where they said, it's like we are not going to be able to meet up with the dollar demand. Because the dollar, those are the marketers, so asking the people that no dollar. If there is no dollar, that's a problem. That's a problem because all of our stock, we have finished them in December. All the new stock that we are bringing in January, the least we can sell them is 1,200 naira per liter. That is where the rumor of 1,200 came out or came by. And a lot of you are currently still wondering, they don't bond them well. If they try them, they don't bond them well. You be like this guy, where somebody will, you be like this guy.
See, I tell you, as they go. Papa, who say this thing? Allah.
What do you confuse the government do for the matter?
The government help us now. I beg. See, if they don't do anything, we gonna rob. unless if they do something they don't dey work. I tell you
Rob, you know say police go.
life game where they go. Where I get for children, wife the house, nobody know anything. From where are you like come behind? From where to here, if I lie, I die. Allah, are you like come here? I mean, are you like from where? Because see, next 2 months, if you know there, I mean, I'll carry gun. I tell you, I'll carry anybody. Tell government, if they don't repent, as you dey go now, see.
Sakasa ń bọ̀ lọ́nà ẹ tí rí nǹkan kan. I know some of you even danced to that at the time. Abi shebi you are Baba good. I don't bother. Made them try that nonsense. I say okay. The day that Kalu with no plan, no nothing, said subsidy was gone. Subsidy gone. From 165 naira per liter of petrol, it jumped straight to over 600 naira. You were expecting them to give you palliative, Abi. Then they begin to share money. Abi food. Abi what have you. At a point where you waited and waited and waited, you realized that you are on your own. Poverty increased. Businesses folded up. Because in case if you don't understand what this simply means, Abi, now if the thing can't jump from 650 to 1,200 naira per liter, it could today. Let's kind of be real. To those of you who knows what this means, or it go favor you and favor your family. Even those who were shouting on his mandate, they were standing. Some of them now, they don't get energy to stand again. Now Shege Bansa, they said that today, if you think you are struggling or suffering, all you need to do is to go to the nearest Agbado bank, nearest or nearer to you. You need to go as soon as possible. Any Agbado bank closer to you. Go and claim your own Ronu card. Here you get. And if you want to survive now, there are those who listen to Tinubu when Tinubu said he was giving you New Year speech. At least for those who listen, they said this was Tinubu's economic vision on your screen. Now, when you have somebody like this and you begin to say, God can change anything from anything. Hypocrisy. So they met with, when did this now pop out? They said that the government is now looking at maybe, okay, if they can make it like 900. You understand, right? They've already told them it is going to cost 1,200 naira per liter if those who are bringing fuel to Nigeria should at least make profit. They say it's no longer profitable per se. So if those who are bringing that's their marketer, so they say for them to make profit, they would need to sell for at 1,200 naira per liter. So the Tinubu's government, they are trying to say, okay, wait, what about 900? Like, what would be the difference? And like, for how many months? Like, they were negotiating that yesterday. They haven't had any conclusion when the memo leaked and the news picked it because it is true. Here you get. So it is either they quickly use part of the money, the one they just collected from the Afrexim Bank, that is Africa Export and Import Bank, is different from the African Development Bank, So they just gave them $2.7 billion cash, according to the news. and official news. So currently, the Central Bank of Nigeria, they received $2.7 billion cash. They will need to, one, quickly set aside how much they want to give to their friends and for how many months. And that is why they can hold it off. They can hold the increase. They can hold it a little bit for like maybe 2 months. Once they share the cash, the dollars, gone, then bang, breaking news. The petroleum is so and so, and your diesel. They said if this is implemented, the price of diesel in Nigeria will jump to 1,900 naira per liter. I think it is currently 1,300 per liter for diesel, Abi, with this current arrangement. Except Tinubu and his gang quickly give some cash to their friends in the name of dollar subsidy, to hold it up for like maybe 1 month or 2. Ladies and gentlemen, if they tell you that you should ignore the news of the fuel price increase and all of that, ladies and gentlemen, Mayegun is telling you, you listen to them, you will wake up tomorrow, you will wake up the day after, and a bag of rice will be 105,000 naira. Oh yeah, write it down. Start writing this down. It's not hard, it's not tough. A bag of gari will probably jump from whatever it is right now to over 50,000 too. A loaf of bread of 500 naira probably will jump straight to 1,000 naira. And on and on and on and on like that. That's how everything will jump, including your rent, including your school fees. Remember, they have removed subsidy on education. I don't know if you remember that, in case if, I'm sorry, I'm not kind of trying to make you feel bad or sad, but sometimes you need to live in reality. It is when you know what these guys are up to. They want why? Let the poor breathe. Like, Tinubu said the other day. Where's that again? When it was with Bokwari.
Let the poor breathe. Don't suffocate them. We have that responsibility.
We have that responsibility. Come on. This is the moment you're going to ask yourselves and say, man, Chepe Pawani, do you want Kuku kill us then? The people that staged Operation, what was that called again? Occupy Nigeria. Hey! Occupy Nigeria 2012. Was that not 2012, right? Ah, man. Occupy Nigeria. I remember that time. As we are doing Occupy, like even in my own town, Odogbolu, we're organizing ourselves too. As they were doing in Ojota, doing everywhere. So I had this small Samsung phone that had the internet. So me, I was like always reading BBC, reading all this breaking news and all of that. So then the small videos back then, that popped up. Ojota, we not go agree. Laye never. From 65 naira per liter to 87, to 97 naira per liter. Never. Jonathan must go. Jonathan is the enemy of the people. I remember that time. It was everywhere. Everybody just believed that, man, how could you do this to us? This is mad. No. Everywhere. So me, on that my Samsung phone, I'll be checking the breaking news. Then I will also be checking my UKVA account, because at the express say UK go give me visa. I go UK. Sure you get. So we're all grounded. Nobody could travel anywhere. For some of you who were not too young then. Wherever you were in January or so, like people just went on what do you call it? People went for like festive period like this, and it was time for people to return back to where they, their usual place of abode. And then they said that they've removed subsidy, and petroleum is going to be 97 naira. Everybody just lost it. Are you mad? Are you crazy? How could you do this? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. We didn't know that Tinubu and gang, they've been waiting for an opportunity, right, to launch their APC, Egbekegbe Jihadist movement. Nobody knew. Jonathan must go. They must. Before you know it, they don't kill one boy for Jota. Everybody lost it. It was meant to. People thought they were fighting for a country. They didn't know they were building the future of destruction, a destructive future that APC, Egbekegbe, will later represent. 97 naira. Almost then forced Jonathan to reduce it to 87 naira. Last. April last summer for me UK visa. Any real delay. If the lie made them make your liter per liter 1 million naira. If all of you are like Mokuna, because around that time was like any real delay if I did the London. So Osoba and gang that they were the progressives, prominent leaders of that time who led all of those things. Mistakenly stumbled on Arise News today, and they are asking him, Baba, you said Tinubu is a hero for removing subsidy, when you all know that this thing is not removed. They just gave it another name, and they were hiding it. You are hiding trillions of naira from the people. The money you are paying in dollars. So by a country that is that has lost so much forex. Nigeria no get dollar for reserve per sale. Any small dollar where they get now 1 million, 1 billion, 100 million, they will plan on how to share the money. Gone. Not for anything productive. Here you guys. This is what they do. So they said, you said he's a hero. But during Jonathan time, it was 97 naira. Now, so look at what things are today. Like, would you call Jonathan hero now? Or if you can say Tinubu is hero, what about Goodluck Egbere Jolantan? Would you call Jolantan hero too? Old man, awala busa baboshi. Now so Baba started there. So tripping. Kilo shi Baba ikole soro money. Kilo, what happened to him? Why is he talking like that? That was the first reaction I kind of had. Like, Kilo Shoshoba. It's a very straightforward question. You were those who said Jonathan has destroyed Nigeria. He wanted to kill people. He wanted to this, blah, 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 blah. He removed subsidy to finish everybody. Today is about times 10 of what Jonathan increased it to today. Would you say Jonathan is a hero for removing subsidy that time? Listen now.
The first question I asked you, you called President Tinubu a hero for removing subsidy. Would you call Goodluck Jonathan a hero for removing subsidy? And why is it that when President Jonathan removed subsidy, your party then kicked against him? So he too is a hero, isn't it? Or is not a hero for removing subsidy then?
At that time, the subsidy was minimal, and what we are saying then was that they should have tackled the corruption. Now, the corruption now continued and became bigger and bigger, and round tripping. People bringing, before Jonathan, after Jonathan, a lot of events happened. Round tripping, bringing in vessels, and round tripping it vessels 4 or 5 times. So the corruption in the subsidy became higher. Before that was the situation between. Of course, I respect Jonathan. He's a gentleman president. I respect him.
Nuisance lele.
You know what they say? When you see an elderly man that started doing that, round tripping, and it became somebody who couldn't talk anymore. But we know, we know in Yoruba land, culturally, okay, the royal fathers, they are considered as next to God. They cannot be wrong. Yeah, royal fathers, kings. So we call them Igbakeji Orisha, next to the gods. Do you imagine when you kind of make a mortal like you, human being like you, and say he's next to God? And traditionally, yes, he is next to God. He cannot be wrong. Then the same tradition, the same culture says, if that king should violate any single part of the tradition, he must kill himself. I mean, on the one hand, he is next to the gods. On the next hand, he is just a mere mortal. If he cannot keep the rules of the gods, he should kill himself, or they will kill him. That is Yoruba culture. To let you know how strong we respect positions and elders and elderly people. But in that same Yoruba land, when it used to be kind of like a thing, before they used money, and the bastards in Yoruba land, the Omoalis, grew old. When they grew up, they tried to twist the culture and the tradition. So, at first, they started with Olowo lagba o, Olowo n sọ̀rọ̀, tálákà ló ń la idea. That is on Yoruba. When people say, when the rich people are talking, the poor must keep quiet. Do you not know that he who has money is elder, is a leader? God that gives a young boy money has put him in position of elder. So money became the God of some of our people, courtesy of the criminal leaders like this. So they started demanding respect, like the normal, responsive elders and leaders. When they go wrong, when they kind of show their hypocrisy and the rest of that, they don't want to be held responsible for it. They will quickly remind you, do you not have a father at home? How dare you talk to me like that? Forgetting the fact that you are older and stupid does not earn you any respect. In Yoruba land, there is a saying, tí ọmọ olè bá da aṣọ àrán borí, tó wọ góòdì idẹ and chain idẹ, tó wá ń wa mọ́tò tó ń dán yìnrìnyìnrìn bí góòlù. Let me say that in English. That when a thief or a criminal dressed elegantly, royally, dressed or garbed in a royal robe, gold chains, walking on the golden floors, and driving gold-plated automobiles, you should never respect them. Remember, everything owned by a thief is stolen, not his or us. So when the criminals who have taken advantage of the public gives themselves some level of entitlement, call themselves elder statesmen, and you look at the country that they were supposed to be the elders of, and you have to shake your head and be like, God damn it, man. Does this country have elders or leaders at all? Or just dealers, bunch of rogues who still think we are in 1970? Osoba is one of them. They will pretend not to understand a question sometimes, or use the usual dribble, bulu, blah, blah, blah nonsense just to avoid taking responsibility. According to him, Tinubu is always very sad. Oh, he's such a very sad man. Every time you talk to him about this, he's always very... Osoba, listen to this.
Well, I'll start with your last question. Of course, the Igbos have a right, like any Nigerian, and I support their right to the presidency. I have explained to you that we are lucky. By 1st of June, the whole system had been set up to totally collapse. That's what I'm telling you. If we didn't go the way the government had to go, okay, take for example, let me give you one thing I discussed with him on Christmas Day. I can reveal that. In the issue of foreign exchange, do you know that we Nigerians are also not helping? The amount of money out of the system, me as a grassroots person, as a journalist, and you know my area is investigative journalism, even ordinary drivers, ordinary vulcanizer, they are changing their little naira to 50 naira, 50, they'll keep the $20 at home, $50 at home. You see, the confidence that everybody lost before Tinubu came in spilled over into his administration. I've had to tell him, I said, look, Mr. President, can you do something? The amount of money out of the system is enormous. What can you do to encourage people? I even told him, go as far as saying, well, look, ICPC, EFCC, stop querying source of fund. Let them bring all this money that they are high. Even the scarcity of naira. I told him, I said, some people are keeping, even the new naira note that was supposed to be in circulation, some people are keeping it, and they are selling it at event center, party centers. We Nigerians ourselves need to change our culture. I can tell you, he is in pain. And when we talk to him, I can see the pain in him. So you see, as I said, it's only 7 months. Let's try a little bit more. Maybe by the time it's a year or so, like Olusegun said, we will do a massive review of the whole thing.
The more you look, the less you see. It is smoke Igbo. It is take Indian.
He can talk better. In case they are telling you that, he's an old man now. No. Come on, Osoba. He can talk better. But you are hearing all that. The foreign exchange, ICPC, EFCC, they should stop chasing people. Tinubu should advise people to bring the money out. For Canaiza, they have $20, $50. All this they have. Okay, here is something I didn't tell you. I should have kind of put you in the mood for that, right? Osoba is talking about Nigeria economy. Okay. And as a investigative journalist, okay, he used to be a journalist too, that man, before he became governor, right? So, as an investigative journalist, Osoba, okay, is like just put Tinubu and just imagine Tinubu and Osoba having conversation around the economy in Nigeria. Imagine what that conversation is going to be like. That's the people that are determining your lives. God damn it, man. Nigeria. A lot of people believe that there could never be anybody worse than Bokuwari. Tinubu is like, hold my cup. Let me show you that there can be worse person than Bokuwari. Listen to me. I know a lot of you might think we are showing you and kind of saying all of this because we don't like him. Number one, there is actually nothing to like about him, right? Then number two, he's proved us right. Okay? That he is a failure. APC, Egbekegbe represent failure. But do not feel cool typing, you will cry for 8 years. Come on, calm down. A lot of us are prepared for that. We are prepared for that. We know where it's going to end. Okay? And by the time they are done, all right, there's one thing we can guarantee you. Okay? There will likely be no Nigeria anymore. But I will also tell you what that means later. Don't worry. Don't feel good. Like you are feeling like what? You are feeling good. You are typing. You will cry for 8 years. You will cry for another 4 years. There's nothing you can do. It's your presence. I get it. Cry. Are you not looking around? Are you not seeing those who are really crying? Or are you the type that when Mayegun is on, you come for your therapy? Lagos Abobakus, Oshogbo Alimajiris, the humbled slaves, the sophisticated morons, the crumb eaters, the crumb chasers, the all-risers, the ass lickers too. A lot of you come here for your therapy. If Mayegun no turn up, some of you go enter market, or sometimes even worse. I've had people who have told me that Mayegun, it's not as if to say I don't know what you are saying is true. Okay? But the fact that it is APC or that or APC this and that, and we just believe that may all of us perish. And all of us will see eventually perish. So Mayegun, when you come on like that, you will just use your platform to relieve our own frustration too. That's what they told me. They said they come here to relieve their frustration. It's not because they don't know that they are affected or they are not, you know what I mean? Like, they come here because Mayegun's Diary Politico is like the therapy platform for them to come and remind everybody that whatever you say, whatever you like, now die everybody do 8 years. Soon now, you begin to see some of them when you see 8 years, you see have 7 years. You see have 7 years, 5 months. Yeah, 7 years. 7 years, 5 months. Very soon, that thing is going to be like a curse. You know these guys, you know these people, Nabi. They will squeeze you until you start bleeding and sweating blood. So when somebody tell you that, now 8 years, you're going to go face this thing. Even you that is defending them today, is that thing will soon turn to curse. That you yourself will be like, now God punish you. God will never let us wait for 8 years. And 8 years, let me figure, Songbani, back and 40, back and 40, back and 40. Now people will go pie, now those will go remain. So those who can't remain, who can't get sense. Unfortunately, those who will go get sense that time, they will be the strongest humans. Because there are many people that the effect of 8 years of Bokuwari has run them mad and they can never recover. 8 years of Bokuwari destroyed families. Yes, there are people who will never recover from the trauma. When you add 8 years of Tinubu to it, you could but those some people are like Kogi body. Here you get. Even though we might all be kind of worried, like, how are we going to survive it now? How are we going to do all of this story all long? For God's sake. As everybody is trying to wonder and all of that, right? There are people who will say, it no matter, they go still rough farm. In 2031, they will still be here. I say, about how strong you. Hey, chairman. They will. Hey, you lasted Bokwari's 8 years in Nigeria. You lasted 8 years of Tinubu. Baba. Again, something like that too. And I mean this. You might be laughing. It's not funny because it is going to be God. Like I said, imagine where Tinubu and the Osoba and maybe Bisia Konde, imagine where the three of them are discussing economy and security or the unity of Nigeria. How can we unite Nigerians? Imagine elder statesmen with this mentality, and they are telling you, we are doing, Tinubu is is working to unite Nigeria. Tell me in all honesty, okay, that this man's statement, as somebody close to Tinubu, and imagine him and his closeness to Tinubu and what Tinubu probably also shares with them, and in a more kind of a divided country. Somebody now asked him, what do you think about the Igbos and the presidency and all of that? I said, you know me, I have told you, as Igbos watching me on Mayegun's Diary Political, I have told you, okay, that a very sound, full-blooded Igbo man or woman does not need anybody's sympathy. You understand? They don't need anybody's, sympathy, no. Don't need anybody's pity. I have told people, the reason why you are hearing more of Igbo versus Yoruba, Yoruba versus this that is riling people up is because the Igbos have, this generation of Igbos, they have started replying all of the name calling and labeling. They started responding back. Some of them decided to be bigots. Bigotry for bigotry. Usually, the Igbos who kind of try to calm the nerves. In fact, they will even send delegation and say, why are you upset with us? We are not fighting you. We are brothers. We are just here to do our, you know what I mean, like Igbos. So, or you see this generation of Igbos, they say, well, they attacked the Igbo. I don't know if you remember this anyway. So they attack, there was this riots, right? They attacked the Igbos up north. Okay. And the report came that, it was a targeted attack. So a reprisal took place in eastern Nigeria. Okay. And you know what I mean? Like blood for blood and all that. Since then, hardly would you hear that Igbos were targeted or massively killed in northern Nigeria. I don't know if you have probably noticed that too. I won't tell you the events because it is not something anybody should be proud of, okay? But some said that this generation of Igbos, they are not like their parents. Okay. So it's like the moment they start responding, when you say something about Igbos, they'll come back and fire. No. The history. You know what I mean? Like before, they never used to. They are always pretty much like their parents like, no. Let the sleeping dog lie. Let the sleeping dog lie. Anyway, Igbo versus this versus that. The Igbos have never ruled Nigeria. Out of the 63 years of Nigeria's existence, the northern part of Nigeria, which is the Sharia North and partly the Middle Belt, right, ruled Nigeria for over 47 years. The southern part of Nigeria, which also include the one that called himself Azikiwe from Bayelsa, Goodluck Egbere Jolantano, when it was convenient, he actually called himself Azikiwe. Anyway, so the South ruled the remaining 16 years. The Igbos have never ruled Nigeria. Igbos have never ruined Nigeria. All right? But somehow, the Cold War, which has singled out the Igbos for the past 50 years, that narrative and the generation that kind of witnessed that genocide, who were both during the Cold War. You see the Igbos that survived the genocide themselves, all right? They ensure that their children never forget. That is something that Nigeria tried to forget and kind of erase. So they ensure that, listen, they have never forgiven us enough to even like let go anything. They wanted to extinguish us completely. And since they didn't succeed, you must never forget what happened. And that's, that's kind of reasonable, I mean, my own people didn't face any kind of, targeted ethnic cleansing called civil war. So I would never be able to understand what that is, okay? So their children will never forget. The survivors never forgot. Nigeria want to forget. They said, no winner, no vanquish. Move on. Baba, the people that ruined Nigeria for 63 years, they are telling the people that have never have a chance to contribute to that destruction, like as then they share the positions, who lead Nigeria. So there was an unwritten code, unwritten code during the Cold War, which I believe still exists today between the rest of Nigeria and the Igbos. So the Igbos are the target. So the Cold War that continues to this day, the narrative is the Igbos must still convince the rest of Nigeria in order to rule Nigeria. So if an Igbo man says he wants to be president, war. What is wrong with these Igbo people, self? They always like to want to control. Want to be president. Is that how to be president? You cannot even, you that is always so arrogant. How can you say you want to be president of Nigeria when everybody don't trust you? How? I don't understand. I mean, let us be honest. Igbo man must build bridges. Meanwhile, they have so many Igbos who have been building. The majority of them are professional bridge builders. Now, one of them be this last. Oh dear.
I built this country. I employed 13,800 workers. People employ nobody, and nobody asks them their source of wealth. I have 3 factories in Lagos, Nigeria. I have 2 factories in Ota, build manufacturing. I have 3 factories in Aba, manufacturing, and I'm a thief. And people that cannot explain where their source of wealth comes from, they are not thieves. I leave everything in the hands of God. May God be the judge.
Thank you very much, Chief Whip.
Let's leave everything in the hand of God, Jare. Oji Uzo Kalu. Mama, Papa, family, government. Amen.
Glorify your name to the core. Owner of the day, owner of the beginning and the head. I glorify your name, the God, Father of the glory. There is nobody can share the glory with you. You are beginning of the glory, you are everlasting. No, you are glorify your name to the God.
But never build the bridge that will satisfy the likes of Osoba. Somebody will not get any business. Osoba, journalist. Then Osoba, politician. Then Osoba, governor. Then Osoba, godfather, whose children are also leeching off the people of Ogun State, like a confessor, Wole Soyinka, the Wole professor, the confessor. These are leeches, even though they are like old people, but they are leeches. So Igbos must build bridges. Elder statesmen.
Make money, and the state government, Well, I'll start with your last question. Of course, the Igbos have a right, like any Nigerian, and I support their right to the presidency. there should not be a situation where we are treating any part of the country as a second-rate citizen. But you see, some of my brother Igbos think that it's a right, entitlement. Our brothers, the Igbos, must talk to ourselves only in Gigi. Talk to me that you would like to be president, that came to me to talk to me that you will be president. When Abiola and I wanted to, we went around the whole of the East. We saw Nnamdi Azikiwe, we saw Onu, we saw Mbakwe. We went around to each of their homes in their villages. Most of the Igbos didn't think that they should talk to us in Southwest. I feel sorry about that. I mean, look, the handshake across the South, led by people like Ndibusi, Commodore Ebitikiwe and Co. With us, Yoruba, that built up to June 12, was forgotten. Two, you see, the tribalistic politics cannot help. Anybody who wants to be president of this country must recognize the other tribes. The kind of entitlement cannot give the Igbos the presidency. As for Nnamdi Kanu, I have not discussed it with the president, but I know that from what I have from other sources, he's asking the Attorney General, can he, as a president, interfere with court processes? Can he order the court to stop the processes? These are issues. If we are negotiating something for Kanu, we have to look at the implications.
Nuisance leleyi. Nuisance leleyi. Nuisance leleyi.
Babala nuisance. Don't think he didn't know what he's doing. We know about the dog whistle. So the Igbos are feeling entitled that they want to contest for president. Like, I don't understand. A Yoruba man want to be president. A Fulani man want to be president. Igbo man want to be president. But it is the Igbo man that is feeling entitled. He knows what he's doing. It's called dog whistle. Is making it look like the Igbos. No, they don't like the Yorubas. They don't regard me. They don't come to us. If Igbos want to be president of Nigeria, you will come to Osoba. Osoba will take you to Tinubu. Sure you get. And then they can then see how to see if you can then become president. Even though you are not second class. So we all have equal rights. Everybody get the rights. But they know what they are doing. In one of his statements of advising Tinubu to raise money, he says state governors, they should be collecting tenement rates. Like I told you, he no get any job. He has houses in London. He has houses in Nigeria, in Abuja, in Abeokuta, or in Izegbade. He is collecting pension, free money, free cars, free medical care for life from the Ogun State people's taxpayers' money. When I them they advise economically. All of that way they show us all of your mansions. You like say all these old criminals' eyes don't enter Ramo. They need to start taxing all of you and your mansions in this the Igbo mansions, by the way.
Make money, and the state government, I can tell you, the state government, even in Ogun State, they are not collecting tenement rate, land use decree. We elite. I mean, I'm living in a mansion. It's because I was former governor. I pay my rate up to. I have to ask them. They don't even send me notices. But I mean, Governor Dakwabiadu is now trying to now computerize the system, where you have all the land, and then this is the way to make money. In London, I have a house. I pay council tax. Demand is always the demand from me. There are many ways state government, all those of can make money. All those of us building mansions in Southeast, mansions in many parts of the country, we should be made to pay tenement rate, ground rate, and everything. So I can tell you the state government need to be up and doing in a way that even we, the elites, who are just changing government, are dead.
Pastor, oko ọlọ́pàá ó ń ṣọ́ pastor. Àwọn ọmọjọ sticker ló ń ṣọ́ wa. Àṣé kò rí pé orí wa ti burú. Ìwọ má dídá o, ìpápá ẹ̀dá rin. Jẹ́ ká wà ní báàbù tó ń jẹ. Kò jẹ́ gbèsè àgbẹ̀tọ̀ àbí kò gbẹ́rì tí kò gbé tí a fẹ́ jókòó jẹ̀ rà. Gbẹ́rì tí bá yọ píù. Àwòyí àárín. Mo mọ̀ wípé wà nínú báàbù pé ìgbà tó fẹ́ mú Jésù kọjá ní àárín òun ògèrí Jésù. Kí ni Jésù lò? Àfẹ́ rí ló lò. Ìwọ má dídá ayé bàjẹ́.
Osoba, we no get job. Oh. He's an old man. Osoba is about, what's his age now? 89. No, 79. Very dubious character. Very dubious old man. Probably don't give a damn about anything per se. But Igbo mansions? I mean, why didn't he say all the mansions in Abeokuta, all the mansions in Lagos? So somebody said, oh, more. They demolish all of our properties from Lagos, Igbos. And they tell you, say, go back to the east, go back to the east. When I don't go back to the east, some of them won't follow when I enter that east too. By the time you go back to that your east, all those your mansions that you are showing everybody, Tinubu should, Tinubu is already saying that all of you who are rich, they are going to collect your houses. If you cannot prove the work you are doing, yeah, that's the plan. They said, if you cannot convince them what you are doing to make money, say they will collect the property and everything they can collect from you. If you can prove what you are doing to make money, you would have to pay extra taxes on your mansions. So all of you now, we have your business in Lagos, your mansion in the east. Are you sure it's going to be viable anymore? Are you sure you are still going to... This is 2024 January. If you still start now, divesting your investment, Baba, you can begin to divest now because they won't chase you now, enter anywhere they won't chase you now until you probably will tell them enough. Enough. We've had enough. So somebody who listened to Tinubu's New Year broadcast actually shared his view. Osoba might be talking nonsense as is, you witness, right? So the credit for this clip also goes to the Arise News, by the way. So they've been very kind of, very, very, useful to our platform as part of our, platform in 2023, where we've been able to use some of their own materials emanated from their studio. So we are still grateful that they have not decided to start kind of reporting me for probably, I don't know, because I always give the credit, by the way, but again, Arise News, so thank you. Here is somebody who was in their studio dissecting the nonsense that Tinubu kind of is, and even deeper, to let you know that they might be using all the word salad, all the nonsense and all that. Listen, those they were counting on. I mean, hang on, there's actually one I want to show you. So they said that this is their budget on the left, okay? On the right, few states that kind of got some foreign direct investments, right? In the 7 months of Tinubu. Tinubu himself did not attract any foreign direct investment, right? According to what they said, Lagos State got about $308 million. Almost 7 months. Do you understand? Do you understand what I mean? The entire Lagos State in 7 months received investment of $308 million. $308 million. And it is the highest. Abuja received 194.66 million. Okay. Ogun State received $1 million investment in 7 months. Okay, 1 million. Akwa Ibom received, you won't believe this, so 70,000. not 700,000 though, $70,000 investment. Abia managed to attract 150 million. Third to Lagos, second to FCT. So this is in 7 months. Nobody is going to come and bring their investment to a place where what they see, people who lack legitimacy, criminals, certificate forger, drug trafficker. I mean, let's go to that studio. This guy.
Now, we need to deal with corrupt issues, attitude to work, attitude to everything, to bring in foreign direct investment. You see, when you go outside and you talk to foreign investors, maybe you talk to presidents or whoever, as soon as you leave the room, they will sit down to have their own meeting. That's how investment works. It's like applying for a bank loan. As soon as you walk out of the door, the credit committee will sit down to have their own meeting. As to, Bosun's application, what do you gentlemen think? What is his balance sheet here? Does he have, how much does he deposit in this bank in the first place? If my deposits in the bank is almost a sub-zero, and Bosun is here to ask for $1 billion, $1 billion, they're going to say, he doesn't even have deposit here to start with very well. What are his business? They're going to start scrutinizing your credit application, loan application, in your absence. So as soon as Mr. President leaves with his entourage, those countries will sit down with their presidents and the private sector to review Nigeria in our absence. So what they think about us, the assessments in our absence is what matters, not what goes on television. So the decision is not made through those handshakes. Decisions are made after those handshakes to say what is the reality, what are the realities on ground in Nigeria. Mr. President of that country, his minister, they've spoken, we've heard them. Now what do you decide? It's like looking for a wife. Now you guys had this bachelors, whatever. The first thing is that you come, you bring palm wine or whatever. I'm not going there. I just okay, I'll take that back. But again, the decision is made to either give you the girl or not after the suitor's family had left. What do you think?
We're discussing marriage.
Economic issues.
You know the in-house.
Because budget has to be involved in planning marriage as well.
The bachelors in-house.
I'm trying to link
the population.
Yeah, I'm talking about the budgeting process now.
Oh, okay.
Because they'll talk about the foreign direct inflow. Okay. What is the budgeting? What's the revenue of the prospective suitor? What is his balance sheet? You remember that pension fund, I said, the father-in-law says, do you have a pension account? And the gentleman was looking like, I don't know what it is. When you have a pension account, come back and hear from my daughter. That is how investment works. So we want investment, you have to be suitable as a suitor. So is Nigeria a suitable destination for investment? We have opportunities. Now you find why investors, if you call an MDA, a minister, or the CEO of a DG, and it's not available for a day or for a week, that investor is not going to wait forever. Remember, every dollar that every investor wants to put anywhere in the world has a competition. So don't take yourselves too seriously. Take what you admit too seriously. We tend to take ourselves too seriously in this country rather than take what we are doing so serious. We believe that we are serious, right? But again, are we doing things seriously? That is where the difference is. So that dollar is waiting. If you take 1 week out of 53 weeks in 2034, you are left with 52 weeks. That investor is not going to lose 1 week because that money is not even his own. Maybe it's a pension fund from Chicago, from wherever, and they are waiting for returns on their own investment. So every dollar we are asking for, either from India, from China, from everywhere, is competing with another dollar from another country, from another region in the world.
Listen. Because you said a lot, and the truth is, it now makes sense why photo ops in Saudi, deals announced months after.
That's a reception.
Photo ops with Olaf Scholz, deals announced. So, I want Nigeria to succeed. What are the things we can do that when these investors will talk about Nigeria at the back of President Tinubu, they will talk about us favorably? Because there was a time that they used to talk about us for 8 years ago, 2015 here. Most of the FDAs into Africa flowed to Nigeria. But today,
that's our political capital.
But today, when people are talking about investment in the oil sector, we call ourselves a giant of Africa and oil, but they are investing more in the oil sector in countries like Egypt that we will not tout.
Angola.
Yeah, and Angola.
Senegal,
not tout
Sierra
with our
Leone.
capacity. Senegal, Sierra Leone.
Yes, DR Congo.
Than us. I mean, look at even Liberia. Look at Rio.
Yes.
The mining giants coming. So how would they talk about us and say, okay, this makes sense? Because if you say 200 million population, the first thing is, as we speak today, what's the purchasing power of that 200 million population?
It's very simple. Tanzania just announced that their total investment deals done in 2024 was $20 billion.
Deals completed?
Yes. In 2024. Not announced. Was
Completed.
around $20 billion. President Samia Suluhu just sacked the entire board of the country's electricity company a few days of Christmas because she said, I'm tired of these power outages. She sacked the entire board. You can't mess with Madam President in Tanzania. Hold on a second. That's not over yet. If you look at the island of Zanzibar just next door, which was part of it, look at how investment flows is going there. South Africa had one of this worst year in terms of electricity outages in 2023. By the end of third quarter, September last year, South Africa has posted about $22 billion FDI into the country, even though they suffered two major economic downside. First, electricity up to level 8 outages by Eskom, and second, Transnet, which is the logistics company. The shipyards in South Africa, in Durban, everywhere was failed. The national rail line was in trouble. Despite that, foreign direct investments flew into South Africa between July and September last year up to the tune of about 20-something billion. But now, what does that tell you? That despite the fact that we have the same electricity problem in Nigeria, such investment flows was not coming here. Despite the problem of electricity in South Africa, some of the automakers in the world were still increasing their factory portfolio and production in South Africa, because South Africa lost its industrial #1 position in Africa to Egypt just about a year or two ago. And they're very sore about it. They are very unhappy. They want to get that title back as the industrial hub of the continent. Now, so when something is missing here, in which South Africa has a major power outages. I've tried to interview sometimes one of our correspondents in South Africa at my show at 7 p.m. and he says, I don't have electricity. I've had to talk to some investment executive chairman of companies and say, oh, please hold on, I have to put on my generator to do it. In South Africa, yet investors were flowing in because they are doing massively. What did President Ramaphosa say? Look, he liberalized the whole thing. If you're doing 100 megawatts and below, it's free entry, free exit. I don't want to sign any paper. Just go bring it on. He brought in a new minister last year of electricity. Now you have a minister of power, but he brought in another minister that his job is to ensure that there is power 24/7 and give that new minister of electricity a one-page, one-line mandate.
So it's not worked.
But hold on a second, he's attracting investment in. So they are using the opportunity of the problem with Eskom to bring in new alternative sources of energy, and that's why investors are coming in. Look, Eskom is that old utility like NEPA, but we want to do solar. So you come in, Rarify, with your own $2 billion, right? Because you want to provide that. Professor here comes in, doctor comes in here and says, I want to do $2 billion in another form of renewable. But because the environment is opened up, so we need to open up our electricity. Look at the TCN, for example, when we look at the energy. These are TCN, we need to allow people to come in very quickly. The EFDB wanted to help us a few years ago, I think under Buhari's administration. They brought in someone from EFDB to help us head the transmission company of Nigeria. He didn't last. So we need to open up. When we say you are open for business, and I used this illustration yesterday, an Igbo man, when he says he's open for business, he's not just opening the doors of the shop. He is there, sitting down there. He is chasing customers.
Okay, boss. Well, some clarification. When
a town hall different from Blue, Bulaba.
I mean, you all sat there through all of that, what do you call it, analysis from the guy, right? And you are there, you are like, man, what could be the reasons why, despite all the photo ops, to India, to United Nations, to all these places, right? Dubai, France, and all of that, including Germany. How come all of this did not attract some real investors to bring in their own money to come and invest in the areas that they know Nigeria needs serious help? Like you have seen all the pictures, they have announced billions. I remember when they said that what do you call them? The CEOs of Apple, of Microsoft, Olori Buruku ni Dele Alakori. You know, Dele Alakori was the one who said, or was it Dele Alakori or Akuri Nigalaila? I think it was both of them. It was Akuri Nigalaila that first said it. That CEO of Apple, CEO of Microsoft, Bill Gates, all the 500 Fortune companies in America, all their CEOs, they were fighting for slots to meet with Tinubu when it comes to United Nations. They bury long. Fear God too. Fear God, but they know they fear anything. You know what somebody said? He said, he's a politician, and he said, everybody sees me as a politician. Who do you think I am? And some were like, kind of, oh, you are a man, you are a husband, you are a brother, or you are a this, you are a that. But majority said, you are a politician, man. So a lot of you, majority of you believe I am a politician. Say, yes, we believe that you are a politician. And he said, I am just an actor. And that's exactly what your politicians are. They are just actors. Okay? They can put up shows. They can put up photo ops. They can put up media statements and all that stuff. But if you pay attention very well to what they are doing, you realize that they are doing absolute fuck all. Nothing. Sure you get? That's why your politicians can be anything in front of the camera. Anything and everything. Because they are mostly actors who just act the role and pay themselves. Sure you get? But there is no foreign direct investment or inflow into Nigeria, because who is going to take their money to where drug baron Pablo Escobar, Tifnumbu, Jaga Banditi, the Jaga Addicti, Aṣíwájú àwọn olè, Aṣíwájú àwọn agbèrò, Aṣíwájú àwọn the mandate the other day. Some said that Aṣíwájú àwọn atọ́lé, whatever you want to call him. The moment the camera is off, everybody look at themselves and say, are you sure you sure we should go to that place? I said, no, I'm not sure. We are doing some check. Bokuwari went to Dubai. He told them in UAE that Nigeria is ready for business. They said, what happened to our $10 billion stock in Nigeria Bank? 10 billion ke. Ṣó tó yẹn ni? Ó pọ̀ gan o. Bokuwari and Emefiole, they don't kind of swallow ramo. And if you want us to kind of allow your people to continue to have visa access to UAE, you go pay also. Tinubu told the people they have lifted the ban. We thought he could just make the announcement for the UAE. Those ones didn't even bother. If them born you well, yeah, go. Come, my bonibi. That way you decrease, Sabi. But our president said that you have lifted the visa ban. Why are you now acting funny? I said, I say you the mad, Abi. Say, she Arab boy pidgin ni. Mohammed, why are you speaking pidgin? Our president said that you have lifted the. If I say you the mad, Abi. If I say your president the crazy, Abi. They born you well. Can't enter here. Nobody could go back and say, but if Tinubu, you said you have lifted the ban, you no one pay them because they don't have money to pay anybody. Now it's been almost 4 months or 5 months now. Do you know that those ones knew that will be this one? That is shouting OP is here. OP is here. So like we said, it is just photo op. It would have been so great if they can actually do what they say they are doing. It is to your advantage. It's to the advantage of the people. For example, look at that guy that is currently doing the Minister of Interior or something. That guy that is doing some of this stuff around their passports now, like trying to make your access to a passport easier than it used to be. And some people are actually saying, no, they are seeing some improvements in a way, something visible. Okay, that eases up the burden of the people. If they do it, I will say it. Do you understand? But it's not because they say they are doing it when you know they are not doing it. And you know the consequences of them not doing it, but telling people that you are doing it. So everybody could just be like, come on, who is really mad among us? Go. What is the combination of both? In the state of the confusion, a video dropped on my lap and I was like, I couldn't really stop laughing, okay? A lot of people have read so much meaning to it, all right? But you know this video, right? It's the military recruitment in Nigeria, all right? And what makes the video more kind of interesting is because we started seeing how do Abdullahi, how do Zakaria from Sokoto State. From Osho, the local government, Sokoto State, Abi Kaduna. And some people were like, why the Lagos Abobakus, the bad idiots, the bad starts, said they are protecting their Lagos, The ways that they were supposed to have been recruited into the army. 50 million youths that were supposed to go recruit in this army. Some of you will come here to come and defend Tinubu. I don't even know why you are still free. Why there she since Sam Pisano? This is 2024. Majority of you are useless. You are not useful to your parents. You are not useful to your neighbors. You are not useful to yourself. Majority of you waste of space in here. Why are you still here? Anyway, when I now saw this, people started shouting, Lagos Aboba, where are you? They have taken over Lagos. So, but it is just the usual corrupt system that they run in Nigeria. Igbo let it go, show the local government Kadunori, or show the Lagos in it. Watch this.
Show me this. Or show the local government. One by one. Or show the local government. Most of them cannot speak Yoruba at all. I don't know how. Where's the second one? Also from Oshodi, local government.
Nigeria is so corrupt, which I regret the day I was born in this country. It's unfair. This is unfair now. This is unfair. Nigeria is so corrupt, which I regret the day I was born in this country. It's unfair. This is unfair now. This
is unfair now. Lagos Abobaku. Hey, imagine if that's the Igbos, the ones you were raised to hate, because you also believe that the Igbos were raised to hate you. Some of you are kukunelari kokompase. Some of you don't know that all of this you know, all this Igbo versus Yoruba nonsense is political. There is nothing special that you say as Yoruba, living in Yoruba land, as some Yoruba, we have a special privilege, indigenship, what did they call that? Indigenship. As a Yoruba indigene from the local government. Do you know what it takes to be indigene? You are useless. At indigene, at citizenship, at everything is useless. But they trained you, all right, to hate the people that have nothing, not even a single contribution to your miserable existence. But to you, you are fighting for, Yoruba, we must defend the Yorubas must not. The Igbos are our number one enemy. Oloshiwo. Zuberu niyen lati Koshofe local government. Where some of you are busy doing social media banditry, Facebook ads men. Zuberu, Kamoru, they are the people who are joining the army from the local government that you will reserve. Even though Kolu once said that 33% unemployed. And
we are competing with armed robbers and the bandits to recruit from the youths who are unemployed. 33% unemployed. Recruit 50 million youths into the army and the other thing. Take away from their recruitment source. What they will eat? Cassava, agbado, corn in the morning, yam in the afternoon. It's growing here. You create demand as consumption. For over 5 million army of boot camps, we create our food. That's money for the farmers. That's consumption for the soldiers and skill development. Don't call them illiterate. Don't talk about illiteracy. Anybody who can own gun, who can handle gun, who can cock gun and clean the chamber and cock and shoot is technically competent to repair a tractor in the farm.
Abraham Lincoln, Abraham Lincoln. Now the person, somebody said, when they wake up every day and they see that Peter Obi is not your president, they thank God, okay, that Tinubu is still your president. Now that person be that too. And his friend, you heard his friend, Osoba earlier, Abi? Those are the what did I go call them again? Is it septuagenarian or octogenarian? Some call them fossil. Fossil. Fossil is like the ancient of day, ancestor. That's what they call fossil. You see, that's when sometimes when they want to insult you with Oyibo. Like, say, look at all these fossils, man. Look at all these fossils. Like, they be like ancestors. They walk in echo chamber, you know, be talking to themselves. You saw that? And the people where they decide your destiny be that. And they said we should all try and go out sometimes. Go outside and touch grass and see what the reality is. In case if you have built a bubble around you, according to the APC propaganda. I don't know which stage your own madness is with APC. And I don't intend to know. But sometimes you need to go outside there and touch the grass, okay? and realize that the world where real people exist, before you guys start to try to contaminate them, right? It doesn't revolve around criminals who are using you to stage tribal, ethnic bigotry, as much as it is, right? And indeed, Nigeria, according to people, they said Nigeria is big. It's kind of further and bigger than the border of Ore, because a lot of you have no idea how many of our own brethren who are also hacking their own living all over the place, including in Igbo land. Somebody caught them and they had the charts. Sorry about the clip. I hope you'll be able to pick this. Enugu, where we have our brethren too, the Yorubas.
Sir? Good afternoon, my brother. What's your name, sir? My name is Okay, Moliwa. How long have you been in Enugu? I've been in Enugu more than 10 years. More than 10 years? Yes. Yoruba, right? Yoruba. Okay. In the course of doing business in Enugu here, is there any sort of discrimination from within the Igbo people here? There's no discrimination. No discrimination, no differences. Everybody is just going about their business. Everybody just is about his own business. No discrimination. You feel loved here. Okay. Okay. Is it Igbo? No, this one is not money. This one is not money. This one is just I want to set some agenda straight. You know, you are a Yoruba man, right? Yeah. You've been in Enugu for a while. How many years? I think this is my 22 years. 22 years in Enugu. Yeah. I want to ask you a very simple question. Okay. Since you've been in Enugu for the past 22 years, have you ever had any reason to think that this is not your people? Have there been any sort of intimidation? Were you allowed to vote during elections? Vote your choice? Yes, I've been voting. Did anybody ask not to vote for a particular candidate?
Well, they have been pressed, but not by force.
Not by force.
But you know the way they did it.
Yeah, to colonize you.
Like, mobilize to convince you. But if you have conscience.
But not by force.
Not by force.
Nobody asked not to come out to
but
vote.
Where I normally cast my vote, such has never happened there. But we hear a situation of whereby they force people not to vote the candidate of their choice.
In Enugu here?
Yes.
No, my point is, as a Yoruba man,
yes,
you've been in Enugu.
Been that try, or is it because of that try?
Yes.
But no, I've not.
Do you love it here?
As an Igbo adage, they say everybody be born hours.
You even speak Igbo.
So I live here. This is where I live. Any my daily bread. I think I will say that Enugu is good.
Okay. Do you feel? I want to know do you feel at home? Do you feel like this is not my people? Has there been any sort of
I feel at home, but sometimes there are some people who have never gone outside who discriminate. But let me say like 80% I feel at home. And one thing is, anywhere you live or you reside, if you can be able to speak the dialects, they will become part and parcel of the people.
Yeah.
You understand? Okay. For me, I can say that I've never feel any major intimidation that's because I'm a Yoruba man. Apart from like a joke that you this Yoruba man.
Jokes, right?
That's just that. But I've never feel any major intimidation or discrimination.
And you've been here for 22 years?
I've been here for like 22 years.
Wow, that's massive. You married from here?
No, I'm married from West.
From the West, okay. So what about you? Is your wife from here or from the West?
From West, my wife from West.
You all are feeling at home in Enugu?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Much, brother, that sent that out there. It's a little, but it's also big to continue to educate both who are Yorubas, who have never really been anywhere, and those who are Igbos too, who have never been outside Igbo land. So we continue to let them know that when they begin to play those tribal cards, those ethnic cards, they are not doing them because of you. They wanted to keep spreading that, hating on yourselves. And at the end of the day, everybody actually loses. Because when you can't, I mean, when you are at each other's jugular, right? So the criminals are united, all right? So they know you will never have a chance to challenge them. So we need to continue to kind of share, contents like that, where you ask people, how do you feel? Do people even know that there are thousands, hundreds of thousands of Yorubas who are currently living their lives in the eastern part of Nigeria? Then they would develop another reason. But they must respect us. We know who are those behind there who are pushing you through all of that. But I have a kind of a saying, right? With time, a lot of you, you will swallow your tongues when bigotry will become something that's not something of pride anyway, but it will be something that will be a lonely road for some of you. But for the criminals, the politicians who are milking it, Igbo versus Yoruba, Usa versus Yoruba, this versus that, and all that, right? You can continue to milk it. But with kind of information like this, we hope a lot of you will begin to see beyond all of the divisive rhetorics that a lot of you have swallowed. You're waiting for the time you're going to unleash them. Clips like that to kind of enlighten you and enlighten those of you who have never really been outside the border of your region. And to the rest of you who have been everywhere, and you are still pretty much like so bigoted with what these politicians are spewing out or making you spew around, well, we may not be able to help you per se. But posterity will be kind to us and say, we kind of played our parts. So I am going to, I was going to take calls, but I'm thinking, should I not? But I'm like, let's take calls, okay? So to everyone who is a part of this broadcaster tonight, if this is your first time, thank you. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel, okay? And help us grow that too, right? And if you're watching me on Facebook, okay, good enough. Like I said before, Facebook won't let you see my clip. It's only probably like 1% or 2% of you that are currently seeing the notification to join me. So go to my YouTube, join that. There are many other things there that are currently in the off thing, right? So I'm going to take a quick break. Now, when I get back, I will take calls. The number is on your screen. Use it. It is WhatsApp and direct calls too. I'll be back in a minute. Thank you. And yeah, I sort of left a part out, which is probably nothing that much, okay? So now people are beginning to say, you know, what's going to happen if they actually officially increase your petroleum pump price? What are you going to do? NSC will give warning strike. A lot of you will react like for 2-3 days. And then everybody will move on. But somebody said, no. People are not going to move on like that. I was like, Baba, we have seen it. Do you think they don't know how they kind of, oh, sorry, I just missed, sorry if you are the one who was calling in there that I kind of ignored. Sorry about that. So you can possibly put it back up, okay? So like, what are you going to do? They know. They will just roll it out like, you know, it's a rumor. Oh, it's a rumor. Oh, is it true? They don't bond them well. No, it's not true. Oh, it is. Then they will just give it like extra few weeks and then bang. By then they would have mobilized all of the propaganda machine, everybody to begin to bamboozle you, begin to ask you dumb and stupid questions. They will have no clearer answers to your questions. You just have to go out there and find out what effect their decision is going to have on you. Here you get now. So some people said that people are just going to ramble for a minute and then they're just going to probably just move on. I was like, are you sure? Because it depends on, you know, it's actually, well, I wouldn't say. But for me, like somebody said that let them try it. We dare them. I was like, if you don't, you better don't dare them. Because some people don't believe that a lot of you could still be very quiet for 7 months when nothing concrete has been put forward for the removal of their subsidy and all that. Yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm going to I've been trying to walk that line, but for some reason, right, it seems I'm having problem with it. So when calls gets through, all right, it automatically kind of get cut off. I don't know why. And if you have been trying to get in and is kind of busy or engaged, I wouldn't know why still. Okay. So I thought we could take calls. Maybe we should take it some other time. Okay. Right. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to call it a night and just have it at the back of your mind that I will make it up to us. This is not going to work. Okay. So thank you. And yeah, don't leave without at least, you know, liking if you haven't already. So yeah, if you just join us as well, you can possibly watch this from the start. But listen, you need to forward probably the first 5 minutes of it. If you are the type who don't like, you know, the long music and the wait, okay? I will see you some other time. Good night from here.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one.
Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú.
Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí.
Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one.
Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí.
Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì
Máyégún ti dé.
àní ẹ̀ súnra kì
Máyégún ti dé.
lórí Facebook
Máyégún ti dé.
àní ẹ̀ súnra kì
Máyégún ti dé.
lórí YouTube
Máyégún ti dé.
àní ẹ̀ súnra kì
Máyégún ti dé.
bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́
Máyégún máa wí.
àní ẹ̀ súnra kì
Máyégún ti dé.
ijó ìgbádìyẹ
Máyégún máa wí.
àní ẹ̀ súnra kì
Máyégún ti dé.
pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o
Máyégún máa wí.
àní ẹ̀ súnra kì
Máyégún ti dé.
kí gómìnà kówó jẹ
Máyégún máa wí.
àní ẹ̀ súnra kì
Máyégún ti dé.
ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá
Máyégún máa wí.
àní ẹ̀ súnra kì
Máyégún ti dé.
aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o
Máyégún máa wí.
àní ẹ̀ súnra kì
Máyégún ti dé.
òkúra olóṣèlú
Máyégún máa wí.
àní ẹ̀ súnra kì
Máyégún ti dé.
ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì
Máyégún ti dé.
àní ẹ̀ súnra kì
Máyégún ti dé.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀ oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o àyè.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
ha kì máa yí ṣeré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀ kì máa yí ṣeré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀ ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀bọ̀lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.